Hey guys, my name is J.R. Foulks, or a lot of people just call me Jessica. I'm being interviewed by Keith. I'm super excited to be here.
Hi, my name is Chaves Anchia. I am in Florida, and I was invited by Keith to be on his wonderful show. I'm very excited, and I just can't wait to share all my story and a little bit of me with you guys.
The whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove them and still amount to something. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Andrew, and you're watching the one and only Keith Andrew Network. It's a special episode. Why is it a special episode? It is episode 1097. 1097 episodes only on the Keith Andrew Network, available on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching, our goal is to reach 500 and more views. So make sure to hit that button, subscribe, leave a comment. We would like to hear from you. We have two great guests who are upcoming actresses. And the first one I want to ask is Susan. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself. This is Icebreakers. And I'm going to start off with you.
Hi, my name is Susan Chaves Anchia. I am Costa Rican. I've been in the States for about 35 years, and I've been doing theater, drama, and music since 9. But I pursued acting about 2 years ago. I've done a lot of short films. I work with students as well, do student films, short films for challenges and competitions, and now I'm embarking on feature films. So I have a couple of supporting roles and feature lead roles. Just loving it, love what I do. I travel outside of Orlando, all over Florida, getting to know other people, and I'm really excited. I just embarked on a new journey where I'm going to be part of a Netflix series. I just got word of that, so I'm excited to be able to do that. Yeah, it's just really, really loving my art and passion and growing stronger as an actress. I also do production, so I'm learning all the background stuff, and I'm loving it as well. Casting director, production assistant, anything that they ask of me. I do art, the art director. I do props. I do costuming. It's just really exciting. I love it.
Absolutely. You have to have the heart and passion to do what you do.
Yes.
What about you, Jessica?
Oh, where do I start? I started out in choir. My dad moved a lot when I was growing up, so that was kind of my comfort zone. When I got to college, I majored in theater. I actually took some film classes, photography classes. I worked as a photographer that I was for a little while. Currently, I modeled for a couple of magazines. We just did rehearsal for Magic on Wolf Mountain. That's going to be an interesting role. I get to play a ventriloquist and a bad guy, so I'm really excited about that. I'm also coming up as playing a Blake's Crazy Nightmare. I'm Blake's therapist, and that's about Freddy Scissors. I'm super excited about that. I'm also working on a short film of mine, and I've wrote 2 feature films, so hopefully those will be going into section 2. And we recently filmed on Snap, so just, I don't know, kind of staying busy and raising my girls the best we can, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And enjoying
it. So the next question, next subject we're going to talk about is the coronavirus. And Jessica, we're going to start off with you. How has the coronavirus impacted your career, and do you see things differently?
Well, I also work a daytime job, so that did not slow me down. We worked every single day. During COVID, it was a good opportunity to take a few online acting classes. I actually worked with Josh Beresford. He's really awesome, and a few others training. They're really great. Russell Simmons, I got to take a class with him. He's really awesome. So just always working, always going, you know, doing your passion. I'm almost 40, so life to me is too short to not do the things that you love. So I push myself and I want to raise my girls. So, you can do whatever you want to do. You just got to do it. Don't let fear hold you back.
Well, next, Susan, let me hear from you, then I can ask the next subject.
For COVID, I had recently embarked on this journey, so to speak. I was asked to be part of a YouTube series that kicked off right before COVID. So obviously things got put on hold. What I did is I took that time to really dig deeper and ask myself, what is it that I want to do with this industry? I actually was involved with a little more music. I had a piano at home and a violin, and I'm a writer, I'm a lyricist. So I took the time to focus more on my music at the time, since we weren't able to go anywhere. Nothing was open. I was home. I did a lot of creative writing, which helped with my films. I'm actually looking at writing a script for a possible short film that I started during COVID. So yeah, my creative juices were just running. Had a lot of time on my hands to do so, so I'd actually use it to my advantage.
No, I agree with you 100%. Now, when you guys take turns and you guys can mute so there's like camera doesn't cut back and forth, I would appreciate that. It also has to be fair for the viewers because each of you want to have your own time, and I'm going to give you your own time. So if there's any background noises, it cuts it back. So when it's your turn, if everyone can mute their mics, I appreciate that. But the next one I want to ask you is, what was the biggest advantage and drawback from the coronavirus? And Susan, I'm going to ask you because, a lot of people say, I wish I can work at home, I can stay at home. Now you can press a button, things will be delivered to you. And Jessica, this is the same question for you. But do you think people took advantage of it? And Susan, we're going to start off with you.
I do believe that, I don't want to use the word lazy, but I feel like people got a little more laid back. Little more people became a little more practical, and they want, how can I say? So people are so cooped up. We were on furlough. Our company had us furloughed for 9 months. That initially people didn't know what to do with their time, and then after that, once everything got back to normal, I felt like people didn't know what to do with the time. Now, okay, now we have to start working. We have to embark on our projects that were put on hold. People didn't know how to function initially when things started to come back to normal. So I think it kind of hindered us a little bit. Like we got too comfortable. Things were a little too slow down. For someone who like me, who's always busy, I struggle. I struggle because now I'm home doing very little. I can't get out. I can't go to the studio. I can't go on set. I can't, physically connect with my fellow actors and actresses. So we were very limited with resources. We got creative though. We got creative. Zoom calls were awesome. But I do believe that our mentality changed a little bit. And I feel like certain things haven't come back, so to speak. I feel like we got really comfortable. We like that, and we haven't brought them back. Like people still don't want to gather. I've been to meetings where people still want to Zoom calls or anything, but I feel like people are like still afraid to gather in a social atmosphere. So I know a few. So yeah, there's still a little bit of fear, I feel, from all of it.
I agree with you. And for the I almost said social media, but we can talk about that in a couple minutes. But you look about the malls, all the stores going out of business. The next subject we're going to talk about is price gouging. But we can talk about it in a couple of minutes. But Jessica, how do you feel? People always said they can stay home and they work from home, press a button, they don't have to do anything. Do you feel that people took advantage of it, like as Susan was saying, and now it's hard to go back to the way it was because unfortunately, it's not going to go back to the way it used to be.
I would agree with what Susan said. Yeah, I work I work at a hotel aside from acting in modeling, and my the owners there didn't shut down. So now when everything, COVID is over, people don't want to come back to work. And it's very difficult for those of us who are at work, we're needing that help. And the people they found other ways to advance, to progress. Does that make sense? There, people don't want to do hard labor anymore. We just don't. That's just the long and the short of it. Not when there's ways of being at home and being happy with our family and making that affiliate per se kind of income, that passive income.
No, you're right.
Um,
And there's other thing. I didn't mean to interrupt. I do apologize.
no, you're good. That's good. But, I think COVID has changed. It has changed the mentality of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her wasting away on Facebook, ShopRite in New Jersey. First off, they had the self-checkouts. Like, look, if you have like one or two items, you want to go in, bing, bang, boom, that's fine. You have a small order, 10 items or less, okay, in and
I'm
out.
just that. I that myself. If I've got a couple of things, there's only, you got a couple of people waiting on that line with long budgets. I can do this a little bit faster because one, I used to run a checkout as a cashier, so I'm like, hey, I know how to do this. Boom, boom, boom. It's easy. Let's go.
It's funny you should mention
So
that. I
yeah,
actually
I mean, I'm guilty of it too, just like a lot of people.
I
Let's
was actually
let's
a
just
former cashier myself, and I enjoy being a cashier. You meet a lot of interesting people. Some people are good, some people are like, "Who are you? Who moved a rock?" And but
yeah.
they're making being a cashier obsolete, and that kind of pisses me off. Is because you're taking jobs away from people. So the self checkout, if you want to be in and out, I understand. But if you have like 30 or more items, then you're not going to have the patience to stand there and do that
Oh, I'll
yourself.
definitely go for, I'll definitely let the cashier do her job. I'm not past doing that either.
The reason I bring it up is in New Jersey and ShopRite, they now have a cart. And we can talk about Amazon in a couple minutes. They have a shopping cart. Obviously, it's a shopping cart that you use. Before you put the items in the wagon, you scan it. And then at the very end, you press a button on your cart, and then you can just walk out. You completely bypass the self checkout. Oh, it is kind of like self checkout, but now it's pretty much in your cart. So you're bypassing the other self checkouts, and you're bypassing the cashiers. So it's kind of like how lazy and are like you have to spoon feed people. It's kind of like you
We're not
want
that
to
advanced yet.
What about you, Susan? What's your opinion? Because I find it ridiculous. It's like, okay, we got, comfortable with the self checkouts, and now you put in the self checkouts in the shopping cart. So is this like your way of saying you don't want cashiers anymore?
It's funny because my first job was at Walgreens as a cashier. So, and I loved it. I was 16 years old. I loved it. You do meet a lot of interesting people. Uh, um, I feel like we've gotten, like I said, I hate to use the word lazy, but it's, I feel like I thought that was going to be temporary and things would go back to normal, but apparently they kept everything. They kept all the stuff checkout counters. And I just went to Wawa today and they have, your regular, cashiers. And then across from that, they have, the self checkouts at a gas station. And I was like, okay, I could use either or, but I'm like, I'm very old school. I want my, that personal touch. I want a cashier to greet me and I want to have the conversation at the register and I want that connection, you know. And now I believe one of the grocery stores here in town, they're thinking about, I thought I heard getting rid of cashiers, period. And I was like, that is horrible. That's horrible because these are jobs that people depend on. So it's just, I'm not liking it very much. I'm very old school, very traditional. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a bit much. I think, we should try to get back to what we used to have somehow.
No, you're absolutely right. And you mentioned Walla and Amala. You're talking about New Jersey, right?
I'm in Florida
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Amala in New Jersey. That's why I asked. In New
Oh, okay.
Jersey, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. They have to do it for you.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's interesting.
The
Wow,
last
yeah.
thing, the last thing I do want to say, in Amazon has their own stores. There's no people whatsoever. I mean, okay, that's not really true. There might be people stacking the shelves, no cashiers. You put everything in the cart, and like I said, in ShopRite in New Jersey, you scan it, and then they bill your Amazon account. So you
Oh,
walk
wow.
in, you throw everything in, and then you pay later. And I know it's disgusting, but the other thing I want to talk to both of you guys about is price inflation. Jessica, I'm going to start off with you. They shrink things. And just to give you an example, I have an Aquafina bottle. It's normal size, obviously, but they were selling like the 4 ounces, that's like up to here, the half the bottle, and it was like $9.49. So they're shrinking items and they're making you pay more. Now, when you go into a grocery store, do you feel like you're paying more and getting less? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
not really. Can you hear me?
Let me hear you now.
Okay. So I live in Tennessee. So a bottle of water that size right now would be $1.50. You said $9. I'm having a heart attack. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I would have to do pure by or something. Fast charging, most definitely. I don't know what the pay rate is there, but here average is about 16 right now.
Well,
We don't know
oh, go ahead.
pay rate and prices. They just keep going up, and pay rate doesn't affect that. So you're still making. If you're poor, then you just gonna stay poor because they're gonna pass out the crap out of you for everything.
And after we mentioned about the self checkouts, they save more money. The investors, and many people say, "Oh, it's good you have investors," but or whatever the term of it called, they make more money because if you don't have to pay the person and you have a machine doing your job, they get more money. So that's why they're forcing out the cashiers. But Susan, what about you? It's
I
a tiny
I
ass bottle, right? A tiny ass bottle, $9.49. That's just
incredible.
BS.
Incredible. It's actually my friend just posted a picture on Facebook about a Raisin Bran cereal by Foulks, and it's supposed to be like a special flavor, cinnamon flavor. I've never seen it myself, but she actually went to the store and held it in her hand, and it's 10.99 for a box of cereal. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, there's no way on earth I want to pay $11 for a box of cereal. Every time I go grocery shopping, I do feel like everything's going up. Like I saw it first in the meat section. I used to buy a whole chicken for my family for $6. Now it's like $15 just for the chicken. If you want a whole meal, we're looking at $40, $50 for all ingredients, and it's ridiculous. I'm like, when is this gonna stop? Salaries aren't going up, at least in my end, they're not. They're not going up. Prices of the food and everything, clothes, food, everything's going up, and it's just where is this gonna start? Where are we gonna end up? We can't um we can't afford food.
And
Everything's
this,
becoming smaller and smaller, and prices are going higher, higher. Yeah.
only recently, people on the news took their head out of their ass and they started to talk about this. This has been going on for 4 months. And it's really, it took you 4 months to now announce it. And they're like, oh, it's Joe Biden's fault. And, Trump is going to fix it. I'm going to make everything wonderful. It's going to be great. He's a complete fool. I think he's going to make things worse, to be honest. And it's not just the politicians, it's the corporations. Because,
Mm.
yes, you have Aquafina, you're paying for the name Aquafina. That's why I'm not a big fan of brand names. You pay for the name
True.
Aquafina, you're paying for bounty. And Jessica, do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. The British baked beans, not to out anybody or be rude or nasty, but the exact same thing. So they make all of the beans, your British brand beans and your store brand beans. And the only difference is you're paying for that brand name. That's it. They even take you in the walk through the factory and everything, and it's all the same company. I totally agree. Yeah, they pass that name.
Now, the next question I want to ask both of you is what attracted you to start your acting careers? And Susan, we're going to start off with you.
Well, it's really interesting because I was I guess in a dark place in my life. I was struggling with a big breakup. So I was in a dark place. I was discouraged, struggling, and I felt like I needed something that would motivate me and get me out of that place. And I was doing a lot. I'm always doing a lot. I paint, I write music, I work out, I do 5Ks. I'm very active. I have three little ones that keep me busy. So I have a life, so to speak, but I felt like I needed something that was for me. And a friend of mine asked me to be part of his YouTube series, and I was hooked. And I started making more connections, started getting more out there, getting more exposure. I joined a couple of groups, local groups of actors and actresses. And I've always wanted to have a platform because I feel like I have a lot to say. Like I'm a writer, I'm a poet. So everything inspires me. And I'm like, if only I could have a way to share that with everybody. And this has given me an outlet to do that. And it's been really neat because I didn't think I was an actress. Initially, I was a musician. So this is a brand new journey. I'm discovering skills that I never knew I had, just flourishing and meeting lots of great people. But my main reason why I'm doing this is because I read somewhere where it says I'm not a celebrity, I'm an actress. You know, I'm behind the camera acting, and to be able to portray somebody outside of myself and make that person come alive or that character come alive is magical. And I've gotten very beautiful people to portray, very beautiful characters. And to the point where I remember I was a nurse and I had a wig on. She was blonde, so I had to wear a blonde wig. And when I took that wig off, I mean, she became such a big part of me that when I took that wig off, I started weeping. I started crying and said, well, this is it. Now I'm back to being Susan. I'm back to being myself again. It was just beautiful. The connection between actor and character is just very beautiful. And mainly, I just want to be able to have that platform to be inspirational, inspire people to follow their dreams. I'm 44 and I'm just now starting my acting career. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I want to be that inspiration to say, especially single moms, when we become single after a divorce, you feel like your life's over. And I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. You dream it, you can do it. So that's why I'm using my career to be inspirational.
And Jess was the last 4 minutes. So I want to hear your story.
Well, I got into acting and the theater. My parents divorced at a very young age, and finding this theater, my dad, like I said, moved a lot. He had several women in and out of his life. I had several stepsisters. So being a part of something bigger than myself, to get away. It was almost like a sanctuary for me. I was moving around, like I said, I was always awkward anyway, and being able to be part of that was a way to grow and, like I said, be a part of something that's big and beautiful, and to probably touch a lot of people's lives. And I don't know, I got into it more in college, and it's just, I don't know, a love, a passion. It's just who I am. You know, it's not something that you can just say, hey, I quit. No, it doesn't work like that. It's art. It's an art. It helps you grow. Like Susan said, she's just starting. You know, Morgan Freeman was in his 40s, and look where he is. I want to be like that when I grow up. You know what I mean? I'm still growing, so.
Yeah,
I mean, and I love, and it's a community. So many people come from so many different backgrounds, and we feed off of that, and it's the magic that can't be replaced.
Yeah, I agree. I have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. Stay tuned. Now, wrapping up, I want you guys to be completely honest with the last 2 minutes. I want to give you not just short answer, brief, but I don't want to go over the time limit. Jessica, when I first approached you to be a guest of my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? Would recommend it?
I don't know. Just to connect, tell my story. If I can help someone grow, then I've accomplished what I set out to do. And you know, I don't know.
All right. What about you, Susan?
I love the art. I mean, I love sharing the story, and I feel like it's something beautiful that we all have something to give back. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What about you, Susan?
First of all, I'm very honored to be here. I think what you're doing is great. I just applaud you, you know, because to follow your dream, you know, that's amazing. And I'm very honored to be part of it. I just wanted to bring a little bit of me on your show, and hoping that, you know, like I said, I could inspire somebody who's out there listening, who maybe is thinking about, you know, acting. I'd say go for it, you know, and I thank you for this opportunity to be able to bring my story. And I've actually been very excited to do this. This is my second podcast in my entire life, so this is special. Yeah, I'm very honored. I just wanted to share my story and get to know you a little better, and just, you know, I'm glad that I have, you know, Jessica. Nice to meet you, Han, and I wish you the best in your career. So yeah.
No, absolutely. I do have a couple of questions for you off the air. But if you're watching, our goal is to reach 500 views. Once we do that, we can definitely do a part 2. But until we meet again, make sure to like, share, comment, and thank you for being part of 1097. Until we meet again, catch you later. Thank you, and have a good night.